Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Banter Fodder podcast. I'm your host, Drew Drew, joined by my co-hosts Michael Hoover Dam and Jimmy Jam, the Walker Texas Ranger man. We're here in the new year. We haven't recorded or gone live in a month, so it's been a minute for us. And we wanted to start the new year with some new things, some new beginnings, some old things too. So for all you listening and watching, this is our first recorded episode in a long time. Probably more than a year for sure. So it feels good to get back to where we all started, which was doing these more produced recorded episodes. And so for the new year, that's kind of going to be our main focus. We'll do live streams still every now and then, whether it's a movie hang or if there's something like the Oscars or some other like big event, or we just want to talk about whatever movie related, TV related, whatever it is. um, Still expect live streams, but these episodes will be on all of your favorite platforms: Spotify, Apple, and on YouTube. So you can watch and listen to them on all of your favorite platforms. Um, with that being said, let's hear what you guys have been watching lately. So Michael, we'll start off with you.
All right. Welcome to 2026, y'all, by the way. Um, let's see. I've really only watched a couple of movies. I've just been watching some shows and with my wife. Nothing crazy. It's been a very busy season again. But I did finally watch a couple of newer movies and I'm very excited about them. Wake Up Dead Man, the new Ryan Johnson Who Done It Knives Out movie. Y'all know I love these movies. We just did an episode on Knives Out. I am a massive fan of this franchise, I guess you could call it. And I really enjoyed Glass Onion. Wasn't quite the perfection that Knives Out was, so I was really curious where it was going to go with Wake Up Dead Man. I loved Wake Up Dead Man. I definitely thought it was better than Glass Onion. Overall, I still think Knives Out is better, but Wake Up Dead Man was much more my vibe. And just from like I say vibe, like for real, like the way it looked, the cinematography, uh the shot composition, everything, the way that they chose to do things, like the church set, and all that, it is just gorgeous to look at. But it's a very entertaining movie. I think that it's funny when it needed to be funny, but it was really, there's a couple parts I was like, oh my gosh, the it's pulling on my heartstrings. And I also really appreciate Ryan Johnson's ability in this to, he's talked about this very openly in the press junket for this movie, but he's very open about how it's a very personal film for him, and he drew on his former belief in God. He used to be a Christian. He's not anymore, but he still it's a very personal thing to him still. He brought a lot of that into this movie, both criticism of religion or just organized religion or whatever, and the things that the church does wrong and stuff like that in his eyes, but also a very sympathetic um, view of what the church could be, and or just in general, of faith in general. There's a couple of scenes with Josh O'Connor that I was like, oh my gosh, like that's awesome. The way that he balanced the critique of it with the a genuine, like an earnest affection toward faith. It really felt that way to me, and I just really appreciated how he balanced that. And I feel like there's a temptation to not do that, and he kind of crushed it to me. So um, I really loved the movie. I thought the mystery itself was really good. There was a couple points where it felt a little muddy to me, but in general, I very much love this movie. I gave it Oh man, I think I've landed at 4.5 stars. I was kind of debating 4 to 4.5, and I think I'm kind of landing at 4.5. I have Knives Out one at 5. It's just literally perfect. Um, then I watched Fire and Ash, Avatar Fire and Ash. I caught that in the theater. And I mean, never doubt James Cameron. Just don't do it. He is, I mean, these movies are what they are, and that's never perfect. It's never something that's like, I don't know, like Avatar is for me. I've loved Avatar from the first one. Um but it always has a ceiling, right? It's never Terminator, it's never Aliens, it's never Titanic for me. His high points are so high. Um but I do think that these sequels have been very good. I will say I did feel the first half was incredibly compelling, and I felt like the second half was they really retread Way of Water a lot in the second half, and it was just like when I heard people saying that previously, like prior to watching the movie, I was like, we'll see about that. We'll see. When I was watching, I was like, yeah, this is like beat for beat the same thing but worse, like just not as good. I thought Way of Water in general all across, like across the board, was better. But I really loved a good bit of this movie. I'm invested in this world. I'm invested in the family, the Sullys, even stupid little annoying Spider. I'm invested. um Terrible actor, but yeah, I really enjoyed the movie. I think it was really good. I'm really glad I caught it in theaters. So I look forward. I hopefully, hey, it's going to be in the theaters for a while. Looks like, so I'm hoping to catch it again. But I got to
It's
find
on
it.
the way to 1.5 billion. Whew.
Never doubt Jimmy C.
Never
Never
doubt.
do it. So that's what I've been watching.
Awesome. James, what about you?
So I watched an animated Resident Evil movie. Um, that was not very good, but I liked it. It's funny, it's not very good, but it's also better than all of the other live action Resident Evil movies. So it's Degeneration. It's it's a fun time. That's about what I can say about it. I actually was funny. So last year, I began the year and ended the year with Lord of the Rings. But it was almost exactly a year apart. I it was like literally like the first or second or within that first few days of the new year, uh, me and some family got together and watched all three movies back to back, and then we did the same thing again, and it was just one of those things of like trying to find weekends, and it just happened to be the weekend of the new year lined up this time. So technically on Letterbox, my it shows that my year began like on like the first with Lord of the Rings and ended on the 31st with Lord of the Rings.
Amazing.
um so, and I bring that up because even though we're talking about Fellowship of the Ring, this is actually before
What?
we had even decided that this is what we were doing. So that's just it. It would have been what I was watching anyways.
As if you even
Um,
needed to watch it.
yeah. And then I'll be watching. I got tickets for the Fellowship this Friday, so it's happening.
It's
And
just Lord of the Rings season. I love
yeah,
it.
I
Yes,
don't.
sir.
It's I'm not gonna get tired of it. I also watched Wake Up Dead Man and liked it a lot. Um, I want to rewatch it. I think I'm going to enjoy it more the second time. Um, I really liked it the first time. I was really floored by how it looked and how so many scenes in particular played out. It's kind of
The
just
use
how
of
I,
lighting is
yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable in it.
Oh,
I've
Unbelievable.
never really quite seen like clouds used the way they were in this, of
Yep.
just light would flood and then hide and come in and shadows, but not in the typical kind of like it happens once or twice, in a movie for the big dramatic scene. Like, I mean, like Two Towers, look to the east. and the clouds lift and the light comes in, which is awesome. But that's the way you do it, you know. But for this, it's just it felt like cloud coverage was part of like the cinematic language
Hmm.
in a weird way and in a cool way. Um, I wish it dove a little deeper into its subject. I wish that there were a little bit more like really back and forth and digging into things, because it to me I felt the sense that it kind of carried itself like it did, but I never really felt like the movie moved beyond just kind of like online news headlines talking at each other as opposed to like people really like getting into it a little bit.
I
So
felt like a few of the side characters just felt like cartoons a bit,
yeah,
which would be one of my criticisms.
and it felt a little annoying because they kind of hang their lantern on it by acknowledging or like, oh, what? Then we're going to get adapted into a Netflix movie, and there'll be the idiot versions of ourselves on the Netflix thing.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I get it, you're a Netflix movie, and you're all kind of idiot. I yes, just but acknowledging it doesn't make it like an okay writing thing. And then there were a couple of issues that I think I had on the mystery, but I want to rewatch it because these are things that I hope kind of clear up. Like there's a moment where a character thinks that she solved something and she kind of says it out loud, and the movie like physically shows the thing she's saying happening, and Benoit like seemingly confirms it. And to me, I don't know if there's a hard and fast rule, but it's just seemed like within the genre when you film a thing, unless you're doing the intentional Rashomon thing where it's like the whole point is you're going to see the same thing
Hmm.
and maybe it's not always as it plays out. Unless you're doing that, I always just get the idea that if you're filming it, you're confirming it. Like you're not going to maybe if you film somebody's memory and they misremember or something, but if it's a character having their kind of oh, it was this and we do flashback and we kind of film it and show it, and then it's like actually that didn't happen, so the thing that you saw wasn't a memory, in fact it was only kind of an imagined thing in her head. I don't know, things like that. And then there's one particular moment where a character is saying something and you think she's saying it to something but it's really to something else. If you go back and watch it, I think it's
Yeah, I'm not placing it.
okay, I'll have to
That's
say it off
It's
air.
fine. Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't.
for sure.
But there
Yes,
were things where I'm
I
like,
got
well,
mystery.
okay, hold on. Now that's not how that happened though. But and the way we saw it first happen wasn't anybody's memory. It was just a scene. It was a regular scene. So now it's like it feels like they reshot the scene with the twist in mind, and you're like, well, that's unfair. You didn't actually show me what it looked like.
I'll have
Um,
to. Yeah, we'll have to talk about it. I don't remember.
um, and then outside of that, I continued my Bond viewings. I'd watched
Yes, sir.
Goldeneye a few months ago and really loved it. And Goldeneye is really great. Um, the three after kind of just decline though. And so I watched Tomorrow Never Dies, and it's fun, but it very much kind of feels like that was a fun Bond movie that had a beginning, middle, and end, and we kind of went places, and we had some shootouts, and we had some quips, and we did some Bond things, and then the credits rolled, and I went and got gas and grabbed dinner and like kind of like very very unmoving experience. And then The World Is Not Enough uh, felt almost even more so than that, probably because it was so hot off the heels of the other one, where it just kind of felt again like, okay, we traveled around, we did some Bondy things, and okay. And then the weird one was Die Another Day, the last Brosnan one. The first half of this movie is a really competent Bond thriller. The beginning, like the first 20 minutes, are really good and promise something super interesting that is never capitalized on. But what is so weird is this movie. I kept hearing about how like this movie feels like two different movies, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. They're not kidding. You hit a midpoint, and we move from competent thriller to like Schumacher Batman. Like the pivot into like we're kind of serious to I'm going to destroy the world with a satellite that shoots the sun at you. Like it's
Yeah, that's epic.
it's so, and invisible cars, and like
Let's go.
it is wild. It looks like Spy Kids for like most of the second half. It's
This all sounds
it's the
great to
one. If you've seen the clip of Bond like surfing on the giant CGI wave, that's this one.
Yes,
me.
sir.
Okay.
The embarrassing thing is this came out the same year as The Bourne Identity.
Oof.
And you just get the idea that everybody, like Barbara Broccoli and everybody over at Eon, is probably like, what have we done? Like, this is going to be not good, regardless of what came out, like what year it came out. But the fact that it came out the same year as Bourne Identity had to have been a massive, like, black eye. And there's a reason why Casino Royale, like, kind of apes Bourne Identity's style.
Okay, I was
in
gonna say, was
filmmaking.
this one? This was the last.
This is the Batman and Robin to Casino Royale's Batman Begins. Like
Okay.
it's the whole
I like
we
that.
hit this. Few years, let's reconvene, and we get something that is 100. That is both a very much a response to the thing that they just did. Like it is. It would not have been made that way if the last movie was not received the way it was, but is also awesome on its own. Like Batman Begins and Casino Royale are both obviously awesome, but they are the way they are because of the movies that came before. So I'm super hyped now. I'm really excited to continue now because I haven't seen the other Craig films in so long, and I've never seen No Time to Die. So
Same. I still haven't watched
this
it.
is yeah. I'm so excited to enter this era after my Bond marathon, and then I'll probably wait a couple months and I'll restart Doctor No because I just love these.
Dr. No's so good.
It is.
It
So
really
good.
is.
You really see, like, wow, The Incredibles, like, just wanted to be this movie.
Yeah.
Would be kind of cool if we covered Doctor No on the podcast. Oh, wait, we did that. Oh man,
We didn't script that. That was good.
that was. Yeah, awesome. Sounds like you guys had a lot of fun stuff to watch. For myself, let's see. So since we last did an episode, I watched Christmas with the Cranks, the most nonsensical Christmas
Oof.
movie I've ever seen,
I'm
and
sorry.
it made me laugh a couple of times. But like,
Yeah.
Santa is just secretly this weird stalker guy that keeps showing up, and he's just there for some reason, and there's this whole side plot that starts with him like near the end, and I don't know. That was a movie that exists, and it feels like if it was made today, it was definitely like a Chat GPT Netflix movie.
Certainly not the greatest Christmas movie.
Yeah, no. The next day, I saw Fire and Ash in IMAX.
Oh wait, I also saw that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jim did see that.
I don't know why I don't have that logged. Oh no.
Oh no, what have I done?
Jim, how dare you?
I have to go back and start all over.
Yeah. I'm with both of y'all on Fire and Ash. I like ultimately I love these movies. I love this one. I have a lot more problems with this one than the other two. Which is weird because there's like in some ways there's a lot of things that are better than I think the first film. But then when you compare it to the second film, you're like, oh, all right, this is just a complete retread of the second film, and not as compelling for a lot of it. But gosh, I need that fourth and fifth film. I don't know if James Cameron is going to direct them or not, but I need them. I want to spend more time in this world.
Yeah.
I want to see more tribes, like introducing the air tribe with their weird like jellyfish like things. That's awesome. I want more of that. Give me a snow tribe, a desert tribe. I don't know. Just go all out. Give me like every single biome you can possibly think of. Put it in Avatar. I want to see that. And I'd like to see. And we had a spoiler chat where we all kind of like chatted about this. I would love to see the next film focus completely on the Navi, shy away from the humans a bit. Maybe, if they do the thing where they go back to Earth in the last movie or whatever, that's obviously fine if they bring the humans back. But I like to just see like a Navi centric story.
I'm fairly certain they just used Giovanni Ribisi's like. I'm pretty sure he just says the same lines every movie. He's just
Yeah,
he just does the same thing. That's him. Like
he's
he
kind
hasn't
of
done
has
any.
like a great presence though. So I'm
No,
like,
he's great. I got
I'm
nothing
like,
against.
oh, he's back. All right, awesome.
I love that guy. Anything he's in, he
Yeah,
just steals everything. But they don't give him anything to do other than be the cartoon character. You know, CEO of a large corporation kind of guy,
yeah,
and it's just like, yeah, I swear his dialogue from the first movie is the same in the next two.
yeah.
Was he in Way of Water?
Yeah,
No, I don't think
no,
so.
was he not?
I was about to say I don't think he was. That's why I was kind of like, it's
Yeah,
Chad.
I just
yeah.
don't remember. Guys, Chad fell down.
No, yeah, because I think he went back to Earth
Okay.
Yeah,
and then he decided to come back in the third one. Um,
to say the same stuff again.
exactly. Yeah, you got to cash in that check. And then I watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Absolute banger. Love that movie. Rewatched The Shop Around the Corner. Also love that movie.
Gotta watch that.
Rewatched Charlie Brown Christmas. Also love that movie.
Love.
Watched the 2018 The Grinch for the first time. Did not love that movie.
Is this the one with
It's the
Benedict?
Illumination one.
It's okay.
It's not
just,
bad.
It
It's
just
not.
it exists.
No, let yourself be mean to it.
I just want
there's-
the original one is better than any. It's just
Yes.
that's just period.
Yes.
I hate the rap music they add into it, the current music that they add to it.
Dude, it's Illumination. There's no way they're never going
Oh yeah, like
No
that.
way.
That is exactly the problem. Like when you take away the like modernisms of Illumination that's in it, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
But like everything else about it just really pulls it down. And it's like when you compare it to the original, when you compare it to the live action, there's no contest. So that was super forgettable. And then the last film that I watched of the year was The Warriors. And
to play.
that movie is freaking awesome. A lot of the performances are bad. Some of the dialogue is goofy as heck, but good lord, it just like fully owns the style and like just the freaking awesome costumes of all the different like gangs, and the music, the score is like the perfect 70s 80s like kind of synth vibe, like very like Tangerine Dreams kind of vibe. It's perfect. It's not a perfect movie, but it's perfect at the same time. But I absolutely loved it.
Does this movie have everything?
It's got a little bit of everything, actually. Yeah. It's got really cool gang members who have face paint and have baseball bats, and they don't say a word, but they have like nothing but aura.
Sounds like the Knights of Ren.
What'd you say?
Sounds like the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably where they got inspiration from.
Right.
Yeah, but really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. And then I rewatched Dune the other day. And
Which one? Wait, which one?
Part 1.
So like,
Yeah.
so
Denny Villeneuve.
Okay, that was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of felt like rewatching it, and I was like, you know what? Part 3 is coming out this year. I got to rewatch it at some point. May as well rewatch it now. So that's what I ended up doing. So it's been a very wide range of a lot of variety, some really bad and some really great. And then we got to this film, which I just rewatched before we started recording. So
let's go.
Let's dive into it. We got to start off with general thoughts. So James, let's start with you this time.
Honestly, like this is, I feel like I could say this about certain movies, but this is like there's never a movie that could ever in a million years be more true for me of this than like this movie genuinely like defined like probably 65% of like everything about me. Um, I like when this first came out and I was wild. I was 6 years old. I obsessed over it. And it's not one of those like childhood obsessions that you grow out of. Like I only love this movie more and more, and there was never that gap of like, and then I stopped watching it. Blah blah blah. I don't know that I've gone a year without watching this movie. Um, like my living room has Lord of the Rings posters over there. My study has Lord of the Rings posters over there. My welcome mat says "Speak, friend, and enter." I've got Ring coffee coasters or like coasters for the coffee table, and this is like this trilogy is by far the most like important film like set of film anything for me. And it basically took that shape with the first viewings. Like I obsessed over it. I convinced my mom to let me go see it, to go see Two Towers in theaters after my oldest sister saw this in the theater, the first one, raved about it, brought it home whenever it came out to buy, and just like converted the entire family into fanatics. So this has just been like one of I am one of those like weird like Lord of the Rings obsessive guys because yeah I watch this movie so often. So my general thoughts are it is like perfect beginning to end. I anytime people talk about like yeah but blah 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 but blah blah blah, I'm like just no let's no. um it anything it does, it's like the best version of what it's doing to me. And I feel like sometimes I can be hard on other movies that do world building just because of like these films and this in particular. Like the world building of this film is unreal. I know I need to bring it back into general thoughts, but I just mean to say like it's just this movie everything it's doing, it creates a brand new world in front of your eyes, and it no other world on film has felt more real to me than this. It's just it creates a world, different characters, different peoples, different conflicts, um, and it's incredible. It's the first part of a trilogy that I think is perfect throughout, and I think this movie in particular is also perfect within it. And yeah, it is. I'm very excited to talk about this.
Well, I will never say that I am quite the Tolkien scholar that James would be, what I would consider James to be, but I adore these movies. I have loved them as long as I can remember. So I had to convince my mom at 12 to let me watch this movie. I was homeschooled, and my parents were very serious about PG-13. It's you have to be 13 or whatever. And so, but my youth group was going, and I was just about to turn 13 within a few months or whatever. And so they let me go, and I I I loved it then. I don't think I fell in like really fell in love with it until I was a little older, when I would be watching it with my like teenage friends once we moved to Arkansas and all that. So I was probably more of a an older teenager when I really truly started to fall in love with it. And then around I guess this would have been like 18, 19, 20. I had a couple of my friends over at the time, and we did a extended edition watch through, all three of them in one day slash night. And we did it. And it's a kind of a core memory. Like it's as far as movies go, at least for me. Like that was like I obviously to do something like that, you have to love it before. But I think watching them like that kind of cemented it as okay, this is something that I will watch forever, every year, basically. Um and so as and honestly, I love the theatrical version. I love the extended version. I love them both for different reasons. I'm not a only watch the extended edition guy. I can watch the others and 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 love them so much. But now that I'm like so I like the last like probably 6 or 7 times I've watched it, it's been the extended edition. That is now the norm for me. And so with but anyway, with that's kind of my history with it. It's I haven't loved it forever, but once I started to, I never looked back. And this movie in particular, I've gone through eras where each of these movies was my favorite. Two Towers has Helm's Deep. It's like the greatest action anything ever. Then Return of the King is like the most epic movie throughout ever. Um, I am in a phase now where Fellowship is my favorite. Fellowship is my favorite of the three perfect movies, as James said. Um, and I just love this movie. Like the I there's something about I love Two Towers when it introduces more humanity, more of the, the Rohan and Gondor sides of it. And I love it brings to all of it together in Return of the King. I love the focus on more of there's a magical, like a mystical side of things in this that I feel like is more focused on. We spend so much time in the Shire, and the Shire is like just that setting and the way that they build out the goodness of this is the goodness that's at stake in the world. Like the way that we live in there for so long. I love the Shire, and we don't really spend any time in that until the very end of the third movie again. So like I I just there's something about just the settings and the way that this movie is there's it's pretty dialogue heavy. It's not an action movie like the other two until the end. Um and the action is good. But there's something about this one. I just find it to be the best of the three at this point in time. We'll see what happens next time I watch them. But I love this movie. I cannot wait to talk details. But this is a cornerstone. This is a cornerstone movie for me. When I put together top 10 rankings, it's nearly impossible to just say Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite and or like top 10 overall movie rankings. It's nearly impossible for me to leave two of them out. It's like I have to treat them as one almost.
Yeah. And then you choose the favorite as the placeholder for the three.
Yeah, and so Fellowship is the placeholder, but really I mean all three. And so like it's literally and honestly, I think it's like my number 2, maybe number 1 now. Honestly, it's just these movies mean the world to me. I'm a bumbling moron idiot by the end, just crying my eyes out in the living room all by myself. I love this movie so much. Can't wait to talk about it more.
Yeah, so like James, I also grew up with these, and like you, Michael. But I'd say I definitely was more on the James side of things, where I grew up with this, and it was such a huge part of my life, not just through my childhood, but just throughout my entire life. Um, I was a very, very wee lad. My parents took me to Lord of the Rings because they didn't have a babysitter for me. And there's probably a couple of scenes where my mom was like, "All right, cover your eyes," because it gets pretty violent for a PG-13 movie. And
Dude,
also,
even at 12, the orcs were like,
yeah, there's also like we'll get into it later, but Peter Jackson doesn't hold back on his horror film like roots.
Yeah.
no.
So there's all that, and you know, I don't remember how old I was, but I had a Lord of the Rings themed birthday party when I was a kid, and my mom made Hobbit cakes for me and all my friends,
Oh,
and
That is
I had a
awesome.
Mount Doom cake.
That
So
is so
oh,
cool.
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, and so we had, like all the like toy swords from the movies, and we're just running around pretending that we were hobbits, and it was awesome. So that's what Lord of the Rings is to me. It is something that, as a child, I had that childlike wonder, wanted to be a hobbit, go on an adventure, and they've stuck with me throughout my entire life. And now they like mean even more than they ever did before, because I see all the things that I didn't see before. I see you. So, yeah, general thoughts. What can I say other than I absolutely adore this film. It is a perfect entry in a perfect trilogy. Um, and let's really start diving deep into this now. So, you know, it doesn't start off in the Shire, guys. The adventure doesn't start there. Peter Jackson's like, you know what? I'm going to give you a black screen for like 5 minutes, and you're going to get some sick narration from Kate Blanchett, and it is going to set the stage for everything. And then, you know what? I'm going to give you some absolutely epic grand scale, like right from the start, action sequences, really pulling you into this world. And I think there's no better way to start a grand adventure, high fantasy epic than to do it like this, where where like one of the characters is telling like an old legend, an old story that really sets the stage of where this world is at in the present day. And to me, like, this is one of the most perfect openings of any film ever. It's I don't know. Every single time I hear the narration at the start, and the music, I get chills. every time, every time, and it's super quotable too. Like, so, I don't know. To me, like, this is one of the I don't know. It's one of the most memorable introductions to a film that you can possibly have. Um, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say other than that. Like, it's just, this is a perfect start.
Well, it had heavy lifting to do, right? Like the intro has to set up like this world that Tolkien created, and it had to do like we need like a 5-minute intro that explains everything that happened in like this entire age or whatever. and it does it seamlessly. The adapting they had to do to kind of go from it started here and this is where we are now in such a quick short amount of time, but make it feel so like, okay, yeah, digestible, I guess, is and I think that's going to be a theme for this. Is we're talking about adaptations, obviously, and that is not easy to do. Adapting something this massive, there's gonna be things that you have to do differently than the book. There's going to be changes that have to take place. There's gonna be things like time, like the amount of time it takes to travel one place is gonna be it. There's things that happen for the sake of the pace of the story and stuff like that. Whereas because if they did it exactly the way it happens in the book, we're going to be spending a lot of time in a lot of places. And so there's just no way to make a good film like this without adapting. And I think that this is the first, like right off the bat, they are tasked with catching us up and dropping us into this world, letting us know enough for what's coming up. And I think they crushed it. I think it is, and not only just on a writing level, but just the vibes, the tones, the things they chose to show. Like you said, like we see like the beginnings of like the Ring, but we also see the most grand epic battle like ever. And like when the soldiers all do
Oh, it's
Oh yeah.
so
I'm like, okay, this is the movie we're watching. Okay. Um,
This really is the Dark Lord because
yeah.
he really be out here.
And then like when it showed that shot of Sauron just standing there with the ring, like,
how iconic that
I
image.
mean, like the so like not only just the writing of this intro, but the way that I mean, we're introduced to the language of the film and the way that everything kind of looks right here. And they kind of had to crush that, because if they didn't, a lot of people, these Tolkien fans are serious. They would have been out really quick. So, and some people still are. I know a few in my life that don't like the movies because of what they changed from the book. So some of them still do. They still are, but I would say largely they did a great job getting the fans in.
Yeah, yeah, they certainly got me in with this.
Yeah, I mean, and they did the thing that I'm sure the people who adapt it want to hear, which is they made me a fan of the thing they were adapting. I was 6 years
Exactly.
old. I had read those. Now, I'm like diving into like Silmarillion and stuff now. Where I'm like, because
Yeah.
I freaking love the books now. Uh, but yeah, that I think this prologue might be like my favorite intro to any film of
Mm.
all time. And in the special features, which are like now famous for these films,
Greatest of all
uh,
time.
oh yeah, second to none. The two scenes that apparently across the trilogy really that gave him the most trouble was the Council of Elrond and the prologue, because they were just saying like we had, how do you even begin?
Yeah.
You epic fantasy. What was fantasy in 2001? What was the last like like we kind of left that behind almost in like the 80s. I mean, I'm sure people will be like, actually, here's all these 90s classics, but it's like, okay, like Highlander, is that what we're talking about? Like,
What's
like
the
what are
Lucas?
we
What's the Lucasfilm one?
the um
It's terrible. I don't like it. What is it? It's the oh my
the
gosh,
one
what's
with
it called?
Warwick Davis?
Yes.
They made a show of it.
Mhm.
Oh, what
What
is
is
Oh,
that
it?
I'm looking
movie?
on the name too.
Yeah. Wow.
Oof, I feel bad. I'll find it.
Wait.
I'll find it. I'll let y'all know.
Willow.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah. Like
Willow.
there's nothing close to this,
No,
and think about like the task they had. Like you had to convince an audience to take this seriously, and then you also had to like convince them that this plot was worth taking seriously. Whenever we watched it just recently, looking at the screen, I was like, I realized like what's the blurb on this? Like what's the blurb on Fellowship of the Ring when you hover over it like you're gonna stream it? And it's like, Frodo Baggins must destroy Sauron's magical ring. And it's like, so when you think about it on paper, it's like you are having to like convince an audience that this genre, which has never really ever been super taken seriously, is super super serious and dramatic. And then you're like, okay, well, what's the first info you're getting us? It's like, so he made a magic ring and it's really powerful, and you got to destroy this piece of jewelry. Um, and the story goes back thousands and thousands of years to elves and men and all these orcs and all, like, it's just, if trying to explain it like and having to like also semi like truncate like elements of the Hobbit, like with how it came to Bilbo, and then or what how it came to Gollum, and then Bilbo, and then now where it's at with the show. Like there's just so much, and trying to figure out how do we prioritize so that this is still a prologue and not just like act one,
Mhm.
like, so I just think the how succinct it is insane. And it's obviously also so much beyond an information dump. It is one of the coolest things ever. The Battle of the Five, or not the Battle of the Five Armies, the Battle of the Last Alliance is incredible.
Yeah.
Every shot of that, all the cuts of the elves and the arrows flying by Elrond's ear, and all the like, it's like absolutely amazing to me.
It's iconic.
And I also think it does a great job of setting up the kind of fantasy it is. There's a great moment in the making of where Peter Jackson is basically giving, like, they're out there, they're getting ready to shoot. This is one of the earlier days, and he's basically casting the vision for it. And it's like, this isn't a movie, because they had all the sets and all the costumes and everything built way in advance. So they've got the Hobbiton is already there, and all of these places are there. And he's like, this isn't a movie. These are historical places. Like, these are historical grounds, and the nations here have been gracious enough to let us come and like Civil War reenactment type things. Like, we are here trying to truly honor a real past at real locations. This isn't silly, goofy anything. We're not going to stretch things because, yeah, but wouldn't it be neat? Like, he's like, we're here to shoot it like it really, really happened, and it's our past. And I feel like the reality of that is in almost every frame. Like the armor, the even weird things where it's like sometimes people's hands in these kinds of movies are so clean, and you look at it, it's like they get everybody actor to like dip his hands in mud before shooting, and it's like it just looks so authentic. So I think this movie, like this prologue, also completely sells the reality and like historicity that they're trying to get across of like, this is a real thing, and it's not a silly fantasy thing.
Yeah. And not even just from like that standpoint, but it also just really sells you on like, this is serious. This is not just like, your average 80s film that you watched as a kid. Like, this is a movie to be taken seriously by adults, just in terms of like how like dire the situation is,
It's shot
how
like a war film,
yeah,
that
yeah,
battle.
yeah, exactly. Like, that just tonally it really sells you on like, okay, this is a movie for adults. Like, obviously, like, it's PG-13 enough where anyone can really watch it, but like this is something to take seriously. And that's just like echoed throughout the entire series from that point on. But that brings us to the Shire. We go from, oh, this super epic, serious, history of how we got here, epic battle, a lot of death, and then you go to the polar opposite, the Shire, where I wish I could live, the most peaceful, serene looking place. I want to live in the Shire. I want to be a hobbit. I want to eat their food. I want to drink their ale. I want to smoke the pipe weed. It just looks like the grandest time to be hanging out with the hobbits. And I just love that stark contrast from what we get before. And it feels so simple when you go from this massive, massive scale to just this really simple lifestyle. And Peter Jackson like triple plays on it. He doesn't just downplay on it once, twice. He triples that thing, and he's like, "Hey, these are just simple people living simple lives,
It
and
is no
all they
bad
do
thing to celebrate a simple life.
exactly. There's nothing but the hobbits doing their thing, eating food and hanging out, and that's it." Um, and I don't know. I think that's such a beautiful way to start the story. And I also like that when you shift to the Shire, it's still like doing the same thing where you're getting that narration, you're being told a story, and it makes it feel so seamless when you go from that epic narration from Galadriel and then shift to Bilbo where he's still telling the story.
Yeah.
Um, and so to to me, like it works so perfectly going from that to this really serene, peaceful place that feels so far removed from anything that we get before then.
And this section of the film really has to sell you on why we're fighting. You know, like it's the Shire has to feel worth it. And like it's incredible how quick the Shire feels worth it to me. Um, it's so endearing. It's so funny, and like I love that it's also being told from the perspective of a guy who is self aware enough to know all of the silly things about the hobbits. You
Yeah.
know, like the guy picking his ear and like not able to get out like that, and uh, you know when he's just like we've also got a like that's crazy. We've also got a habit of like the brewing of ale and the smoking of pipeweed. Like being like this, we got a lot going on. You know, we like to drink, we like to smoke. There's lots of great stuff about us. Uh, and then I love that cut. You know, like, but we also have a fondness for things that grow in good tilled earth, and just Sam looking at like a flower he's about to plant. Like that's the most beautiful thing ever. Like he loves this. The hobbits love where they're at. You know, they love things that grow. They love, and obviously, like it's gonna eventually be juxtaposed with Saruman, who Treebeard's like he has a mind of metal, and it's just this idea of everything here is just the organicness of everything, and the simplicity. Like you just on the weekends you go and you hit up the Green Dragon and you drink with your friends and you go home and you eat good food and you just it is so nice and pleasant. And the music, obviously, like this is like my favorite. Concerning Hobbits is my favorite track, like probably of all time.
So good.
And yeah, I also think people. This is also an example of like why I don't. There's some people who would be like exposition is bad, and it's like I don't think you know what you mean. Bad
Yeah.
exposition is bad. Good exposition is good. And it's kind of amazing that we do like our like 5 minute or 6 minute, however long it is, prologue of exposition, and then we move into more exposition.
Yep.
But it's perfect. Uh, I can't imagine like the first chapter of the Fellowship is called Concerning Hobbits. I can't imagine like what it was like in 2001 for like Bilbo to put his quill to paper and writes out that, and it was like, oh, all of this so much of his dialogue is just that chapter. And so yeah, it's just the most delightful place ever, and all of the interactions to me are just absolutely wonderful. I think it's impossible to watch Frodo and Gandalf meeting each other for the first time on screen and to not just like smile and laugh with them. It's everything about this would be one of my feel good movies if it weren't so like gut wrenchingly like
Yeah.
moving at other points. But this Act One is one of those happy place movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really well said, both of you. I think just going from the intro, which is so grand and it covers so much in such a short amount of time, but it really shows you the vastness of the story, and it really shows you the darkness of it too, just the pure evil at work. And then cutting to the Shire. And I always think of Sam's line, I think it's in The Two Towers, but there's some good in this world and it's worth fighting for. And to me, like, that's what they're doing here. They're showing us the stakes. They're showing us, they're showing us the main story, or the they're setting everything up, giving us the lore we need in the intro, giving us like the backstory we need, and they're showing us this this evil, and then they cut to the Shire, and this is the good in this world that's worth fighting for. And right off the bat, like in James, I love what you said. Like you kind of have to buy, like you have to buy into how good this world is here. You have to love, and there has to be a charm to it for you to buy into it. And they crushed that beyond any measure. I think there's a lot of reasons for that. I think number one, obviously, just the normal stuff, like the performances are great with our leads. I feel awful. I have forgotten, but this is just my MO at this point. The name of the guy who plays Bilbo.
Ian Holm.
Thank you, Ian Holm. I love his portrayal of Bilbo. It is so good. And I really believe him and Gandalf, I believe their history instantly.
Yeah.
It doesn't take more than 5 seconds for me to believe that these two people go way back. What about very old friends? Okay, I buy it.
Yeah. The excitement.
Yeah.
How he like instantly opens the door.
Yeah. He's like running down the hall, like I have to fetch him some tears. It's adorable. But like, and then like even the fun stuff, like seeing Gandalf like trying to walk around this hobbit house, it's so hilarious. Bumping his head.
He's been there like 50 times and he's still hitting his head on ramps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing every time.
And then just the technical level, like all of this perspective shifting and everything they had to do for these scenes in particular in the house is really, I mean, they do it everywhere in the movie, but really the behind the scenes stuff that they show for this house sequence is like kind of mind blowing how they pull this off. So from a technical level, and the fact that they just very, very, very little CGI in this entire section, like the dragon, the firework dragon and stuff like that. But like this place was built and it feels, and I'm not saying every movie has to do that 100%, but like these did. And
they show why it's worth it when you put in the work.
Yeah.
And why it's worth fighting for.
Why it's worth fighting for. Exactly. And so I immediately buy into the charm of this place. I love the little a couple of other random hobbits. I love that they show the husband and wife as Gandalf is entering Hobbiton, and the husband like chuckles when the fireworks go off, and his wife is like, and he goes, oh, like I just laugh every time. I love that.
There's so many of those little bits
and then like them driving by and this guy just like trying to pull his pig or something, and he just can't do it. Like it's too heavy for him. He's like slipping on the ground. It's just like they're just trying their best. and then the Frodo sitting in the meadow at the foot of the tree and reading, and him standing up, and like the look in his eyes at the beginning of this as opposed to at the end of the movie, like he's like full of just joy and hope and like contentment at the beginning of this movie, and as it shows his eyes later in a close-up, it's like that's not the same person already. It's crazy. And so like really I can't imagine a movie starting not only with a better intro, but with a better like setup of this is what's at stake. This is the goodness that's at stake, and it doesn't take long where Shire Baggins, well, that would lead them here, and then we're off to the races. And not to get too far ahead, but it's still in the Shire. But when Gandalf is telling without telling him, but he's telling him like, no, it can't stay in the Shire. Frodo's closing of his hand with the ring in it, and it says, "What must I do?" I get chills every time. It's just like, okay, tell me what to do. I think it's incredible, and so, oh yeah, I love everything about the Shire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many like little moments, like obviously all of the like lead and supporting cast is fantastic, but even like the all of the like side actors who are just playing these random characters that we just see for like 30 seconds just sell like they don't
I'm gonna
feel like
shout out Barlam and Butterbur when we get to 3.
heck yeah,
Yes, little masters. What
they
up?
don't
He owns all 2
he's
minutes of
so
that.
perfect.
He's so good.
They
Also,
don't
the little kids with
yeah,
Peter
their
Jackson's
little.
kids.
Oh yeah, oh he's so cute.
they don't feel like characters to me, they feel like people, like they feel like people that actually exist in that world. um and like there's just so many little moments like that where you get glimpses, and Michael, you mentioned some of them. One of my favorite scenes that they added in with the extended edition, and in the grand scheme of things, it isn't necessarily necessary, but I think it when we get to Return of the King, it makes it very satisfying, and it really shows a lot of insight on who Sam is as a character. But it's whenever Sam and Frodo go to the pub and they're getting drinks with a couple other hobbits. I don't remember who they were. I don't even know if they say their names,
I
but
don't think
they're like
One
older
of them
hobbits.
is Sam's dad,
That's what it was. Yeah.
his old
And
gaffer.
they're just hanging out, and Frodo's like, hey, you should go talk to Rosie, go talk to her. I see you're checking her out like nonstop, go talk to her. And he's like shy and doesn't feel like he's worth talking to, I guess. And as they're leaving, they're like ahead of everyone else, and he looks back, and the dude's talking to Rosie and like kind of being a little flirtatious, and Sam's like, oh, why I oughta, like, you should
Mind
really
who you're sweet talking.
exactly.
Don't worry, she
um
knows an idiot when she sees one.
Oh,
yep,
she.
I was just about to quote that. I love that line, but like that scene, so inconsequential to like the overall story, but it's moments like that, especially for the extended editions, that make it so worth it, and that do enough world building and enough character building just in that like opening act where you really just understand who these people are just from a simple scene like that. I think that's like one of the strongest things about the writing and the performances in this film is that like every character who's introduced from the moment they're on the screen, you immediately like you're like, all right, I know who this person is. I know who this person is. They're this kind of person, um, in a way that doesn't feel like a caricature, but it feels like, oh, these are all individual people with like very different personalities, and none of the characters to me are left on the wayside. You know, every second is used perfectly with each of these characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this world just, especially in this first act, this world just gets better and better every time a new character pops up. And I, I think Gandalf is probably my favorite film character of all time. And like, if you're just thinking like actor to character combos, I don't think that there's like an actor to character, you know, performance that I love more than Ian McKellen as Gandalf. And I one of my favorite things about him is like obviously to the hobbits, he what is he? He's a guy who shows up and blows up amazing fireworks and parties with them and dances with them and smokes with them, and he's just a basically just a bro with all these hobbits. He loves them,
Smokes
and
in the
that's
coolest
what.
way possible too.
Oh yeah. uh but he's just like he's only ever just like really kind of fun, and they, they're so unaware of like the powerful Gandalf, like they're
Mhm.
so unaware of like the task he was sent to do, and what he does, and what his ultimate purpose is and all this. But what I love is that like the Gandalf here is, it's not a put on personality either. He is super super powerful. He is tasked with the most incredible thing ever, and is here for something greater. But it's never like a performance for the hobbits, when he's smoking and hanging, it's because he loves to smoke and hang. Like he So it's not like the hobbits know a fake Gandalf. Like, you could probably argue that this is probably the Gandalf that he wishes he could just consistently be.
Yeah.
And whenever all the kids are like, "Oh," because they think he's not going to shoot fireworks, and he launches them all, the smile and
Oh.
laughter on his face is like unbelievably infectious. And it's just from that moment, like I said, I can't watch it whenever the whole, "you're late" exchange, and they just stare at each other until neither of them can keep it up, and they just start laughing. Like, I cannot not smile at that part, even if I'm in a room by myself just watching it. I'm gonna like smile, like, I love these guys. But like, if you don't love him by then, for me, it's like whenever he launches all the fireworks for the kids, like, and he's eating it up. He loves how much they're like cheering. I'm like, this is the greatest guy ever. And we just get all of these great character interactions. I'm with you. I think Ian Holm as Bilbo is so amazing, um, and so endearing. And Saint, like Merry and Pippin, like the introductions of them with the firework and everything. It's just all of these characters show up, and it's like who they are is like just all over their introductory scenes.
Yeah.
And they bring so much charm with them, and yeah, it's just immediately populated with so many characters to love.
Yeah. And I also love the right at the end of that exchange too. Frodo's like, Gandalf, I'm glad you're back, and he goes, "So am I, dear boy. So am I." And
And that last one, like,
that's
Frodo's
so
gone when
cool.
he says it at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
he's the most it's the most genuine "so am I" ever.
Yeah.
And so I love that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then Ian Holm as Bilbo isn't just like it's not just the charm and um quirkiness of Bilbo, it's also the dark side too. He embodies both of those sides of his personality so well, and also just irritated at people knocking on his door, like like he's so, "I'm not at home."
One of the funniest lines is, "They've never forgiven me for living this long."
Yes. But then, yeah, just the "Why shouldn't I keep it?" And him, like, wrestling with this thing that has a hold on his soul, basically, and, you know,
It already sets up, like just the power of the ring and
mhm,
the temptation behind the person carrying it. Um,
yep,
so
yeah,
yeah,
It,
that.
as oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, as fun loving and joyful and wholesome as the Shire is, even in the Shire, like, the plot and the conflict are never lost. And like, there's there's a moment that I really think is really solid, whenever Bilbo opens the door and goes and hugs him, and Gandalf's like 111 years old, and he looks at him off. He's like, or he says, "You haven't aged a day,"
yeah,
Yep.
and he just pauses and he's like, and then he like shakes out his, like, and then he starts laughing. But
mhm,
like the fact that something's going on, as
Mhm.
wonderful as the Shire constantly is never really lost.
Yeah, and it makes the pacing of this whole like Shire sequence or Shire act, chapter, whatever you want to call it. It makes it so like, just investing the entire time, because throughout all the piece you always have like just this constant tension building, even if it's nothing like, how later on the wraiths start making their way towards the Shire. But like before then, when you have like that little, comment from Gandalf, or like the other little things that are building up to when Bilbo eventually puts on the ring, it's just like this constant momentum that's slowly building, but there's just enough there that like I genuinely don't see how anyone could be bored with something like the Shire and spending so
Yeah.
much time in it. Um, it's not just these characters hanging out and having fun. There's something building there the entire time. Um, and that's something that like when I was rewatching it, I was like, man, I just sometimes forget about how freaking well paced this movie is for being nearly 4 hours long with the extended cut. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do y'all think that just I feel like I've mentioned this in passing. I just want y'all's thoughts on it. Like, do y'all think that the um extended edition, do you notice like when you're watching it? Like for me, there's definitely some scenes in these that like I'm used to now, but like I get why they were cut for the theatrical version because of they seem a little either out of place or like they interrupt the flow in a weird way or something like that. Do y'all feel that way with these extended editions at all, or is it just like no, this is the only way?
Loath as I am to say, I think there are a couple like that in Return of the King for me. I don't really feel that way in Fellowship. Um, I feel like I probably know when they start and stop most of them. There are some where I probably would rewatch it and I'd be like, dude, I totally forgot that was an extended scene. For most of them, I think I kind of have a bead on like which one was added and which one wasn't still. That's just because I also watch these like 30 times in the year between the theatrical and the extended. Um, but uh, I I I love all of the additions a lot because there's it feels it reflects the hobbits. I feel like it reflects the subject matter, which has never been super um everything has to justify its presence, everything has to do this or that. um
Tight.
yeah,
Yeah.
like one a scene, probably my favorite scene, and in fact it's one of the only like actual scenes between Frodo and Bilbo whenever they're hiding from the Sackville Baggins, and Bilbo kind of confesses that he in his mind he kind of had maybe selfish reasons for adopting him when his parents died.
Mhm.
And again, you know he's his uncle, but you really don't know the circumstances in the theatrical. And I just find like that exchange in particular really good, and harsh, not totally needed, because like I would have given the theatrical cut a 5 out of 5, but I really enjoy something like that because it up until like they meet in Rivendell, how often does Frodo actually interact with Bilbo in
Mhm.
particular in the
Yeah.
Shire? And so whenever, and I love the line where he's like, "Have you been at the Gaffa's home brew?" No. Well, yes, but that's not the point. Um, So I
Yeah.
don't know. Most of the additions I tend to really love just because it feels less like here's a super important detail and more like here's a little fun aside. At least that's what they are in the Shire. They're less
Mhm.
so after that, but
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like uh there's things that happen later in the movie that in particular I'm like I cannot believe any of this got cut because all of this just makes the movie so much better. We'll talk about it later, but there's definitely a few and I just wondered. I always thought there's 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 a reason why the theatrical version is the theatrical version, and I when you watch the two movies I get the pacing of those does move really well, and they're long movies anyway, so it needs to be as good as possible on that front. But I like what you said. This subject matter. This is Tolkien. This is not known for its fast paced storytelling. It's a
yeah.
we are sitting in this world, you know, and that's why I watch the extended editions almost exclusively now, is because I just love to sit in this world, and I don't care if it's paced differently. But I just wondered what y'all thought of that, because I know I've noticed it at times. I was like, I think the theatrical versions are definitely just paced way better. But now I don't care. Like, I just simply don't care about how briskly they move along.
Yeah.
In fact, there's some stuff later. I cannot believe this stuff was taken out of the movie because it makes it so much better. But yeah,
You know, we already mentioned it a little bit about like Bilbo putting on the ring. Um, but I really wanted to just like highlight that whole like sequence of the festival, getting Merry and Pippin's reveal of them lighting the dragon
oh
firework, and then
man,
I
yeah.
love when you like see the aftermath of their hair is like all frizzy and their face is covered in like smoke and ash and
Mary's
everything.
carrying the dishes over and sets
Yeah.
them down by
I
Gandalf.
love, I love their
He grabs them
exchange
by the ears.
immediately. Like, you're supposed to stick it in the ground. It is in the ground. This was your idea.
Yeah,
Just
they're perfect.
They are perfect.
But I just wanted to shout that part out real quick. But again, like that tension building whenever the dragon starts flying in and you're oh, this is getting really serious. Like they're taking this thing seriously. Um and just like it gives like a moment of pause. Fireworks go off and it's like the coolest thing you ever see. But then like you get the same like sinking feeling whenever Bilbo starts talking, and it like that progressively gets more and more prominent. And I don't know, like just that scene where Bilbo starts giving his final speech, like just hits me like really hard on the rewatches. Um, like especially having like gotten to know these characters so much more like previously, I think on the rewatch that scene hits so freaking hard. Um, and like he like fully went in with the intention of never seeing any of these people ever again. And
Mhm.
it says a lot about his character. Um, and I also love like the way that the invisibility works in this actually works super well and
yeah.
holds up really well visually.
Mhm.
I love the sound effect every time it happens. Um, and I think like just again like some of the craft of like the filmmaking itself here really excels. I love the shot with the camera tracking Bilbo as he's walking back up to the house,
Oh
Yeah.
and like
yeah,
the like fence gate swings open
Yeah.
and it follows up the stairs, the door swings open, and then whenever he takes the ring back off, like it's so seamless.
yeah.
I don't know how they accomplished that back then, but it's perfect to me. And then like also just the way he's like really happy and like laughing about it. He flips the ring
Boop.
and then drops it, and you get really cool fun fact. Obviously both of you probably already know this, but for anyone who doesn't, they
He broke
had
his
to
foot. Oh, never mind.
yeah, exactly. They had to
Everybody broke their
create
toe in this.
probably. They had to create like a really large ring to do the extreme close up because it just wouldn't work with the camera lens that they had.
Oh wow,
So
yeah.
when you get the ring dropping there, like when you get
Well,
it flip, well, it doesn't drop there, but when he flips the ring, like they do the same, they use the same ring there that they use as the one that drops to get that like close up. It's such a cool like movie magic thing because you never know.
Hmm.
and also to get the drop, they magnetize the floor so that
Yeah,
it wouldn't pop. It just goes and
yeah,
immediately hits the
So
ground.
it's freaking
what a
awesome.
touch too. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's so
again,
cool.
just the craft at work.
Yeah, little bitty things that like you I in my mind it wasn't until uh the way they achieved that effect was explained in like the special features to me that like I even noticed that, oh, whoa, it didn't bounce. That's right. But
Yeah.
like, just because I wasn't like super cognizant of the fact that it didn't bounce doesn't mean the effect didn't have, like, I, even before knowing that, I have that, like the
Yeah.
way it hit, like the heaviness of it, you feel it. And
Yeah.
then somebody pointed out, like, oh, the way they did that is the magnet. I'm like, oh yeah, because he would have dropped it and it would go ping, ping, just,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have. And so there's so many cool things like that that are just so amazing to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I also
Yeah,
love
that
like the exchange between Gandalf and Bilbo here. And this is like where you really see like, all right, like Gandalf's here for a reason. It's not just for
yeah.
his birthday. And again, some incredible like movie magic with the way that the light starts fading in the room, and
Bilbo Baggins.
it's so freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that, to like what y'all were saying earlier, it's so easy to buy their like 50 years of friendship.
Mhm.
Uh and you can kind of feel like the fact that, like, oh man, this is heavy, like something is going down whenever Bilbo's arguing with him, where you're like, this is, when he goes full on, you want it for yourself.
You want it
Yeah.
I
first?
always and I always feel like I would be so, like, whenever he turns around, he's like, "What business is it of yours?" Like, when he's just like, it's just like venom coming out of his
Yeah.
mouth. He's so angry. Like, this is like something has a hold on this. This is rough. But whenever he comes back and embraces him, and he's just like, "Oh, your long years we've been friends," and they hug, and oh, it's so beautiful. And again, you buy the history so completely.
So, since Bilbo made the smart decision of throwing on the ring, it of course came with some not great consequences. We get a really awesome reveal of Mordor, uh, really showing just the absolute evil that it is, having an
Also,
incredible theme.
and one of the greatest model shots in the history of model
Absolutely.
shots, that first Varador
Oh.
reveal. I watched that
Yep.
on like an 85-inch 4K this last time, and was almost like in awe of
Yep.
how incredible that tower looks. It's insanity.
It's unbelievable. That and then oh gosh, what's the Witch King's place again?
Minas Morgul,
Miss Morgul, yeah.
when the
Getting
when the nine leave.
getting that shot. It's so cool. But like
I will say, we're talking about pacing. This part goes,
yes.
and it's
And the music
Who
matches
goes
it.
there?
yeah. It is like boom, 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 and it is awesome. And it's like, oh
Stuff
my gosh,
really goes down.
it's hitting the fan now. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And this is where, our time with the Shire really starts to come to an end. Frodo gets the ring from Bilbo with enough convincing from Gandalf. And Frodo and Sam start making their way to meet up with Gandalf because he's gone away for a little bit. And so they're on their way to meet up with Gandalf at the Prancing Pony,
Great
one of
name.
the best locations in Lord of the Rings.
Also, I think the prologue really helped them out when it came to Gandalf delivering the news to Frodo, so that the movie doesn't have to pause for 5 minutes of exposition at that
Yes.
point. He can
Well,
just
you
be like,
see.
the ring and blah blah blah. And Frodo's like, oh, Frodo is in the know, so they don't have to do the whole Gandalf saying, well, as you know, so and so, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It's like, what? No. So he can just say it, and Frodo instinctively, since he does know, can be like, "Oh, Sauron," but Sauron was destroyed.
Yeah.
Like he's in on, which I love that effect whenever he says that, and then you hear the ring, like the
Yep.
Yes.
So good.
By the way, that effect that they use when the ring is kind of like talking
yeah.
is
Yeah.
horrifying and awesome.
It's
Yeah.
so freaking cool.
The presence it alone has
Ye-
is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah. So I love everything that goes on with that. And then when we start getting on the adventure with Sam and Frodo, just one of my favorite scenes is whenever they reach to the point where it's the furthest Sam has ever
Yeah,
gone,
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you just get that sweet moment between them, and it also really sets in like this is all they've ever known.
Yeah.
And even with hearing the stories of Bilbo going on his adventure, that's just a story to them. Um,
It's dangerous business walking out your front door.
yeah.
Yeah. And that leads into another extended scene that I really love them seeing the elves march to
Oh
the
yeah,
Grey Havens. I think that like that really early, like it plants it at an appropriate part in the trilogy of that initial idea of the elves leaving, because that becomes more and more relevant. And so I do think it's important to note that like the hobbits, it's not like they don't know anything about the elves. They know about the elves, and they know what like the elves mean for Middle Earth. So just setting up that idea that like there is something fundamentally changing now,
Yeah.
like the elves are leaving, and there's that means something. Like Sam to be able to see, like, I don't know why, but it makes me sad, like that there's something serious about that. So I really like that scene a lot.
yeah. It adds a lot. Um, it not just to the entire trilogy, but also this film too. Because later on, when they get to Rivendell, they mention a lot about like the life force of elves. And so planting the seed in the way that they did with this extended scene, like that's one of those scenes where it's like, I don't think I could see it the same without that now. Um, it's again such a little scene, but it adds so much to it.
Hmm.
It casts like an appropriate melancholy over the rest of like the in between,
Yeah,
because it kind of lingers over like something's happening, something beyond this.
Why are they
Now,
leaving?
yeah, like it's just there is a sense of change, and also speaking of like just the like that, what it means for like the elves life force, or however they refer to, like something I also love about this trilogy is like I think the term I've heard used for it before is like the soft magic of Middle Earth, where it's not like spells of, you say these words and blah blah blah, or you mix a potion by an ounce of this and a blah blah blah. It's like there's like a really unspoken, or like very subdued kind of magic of this world in ways that I just think are cool. Like when the ring talks, is like, is a voice coming out of the ring, or are they just kind of like getting an impression, or like what's going on there, And not to, this isn't a spoiler really for Rings of Power season 2, but like in season 2, you kind of, and I'm a Rings of Power defender. I actually love this
We
show,
all are.
but like when they're crafting uh, rings, you kind of get the idea of like, oh, to make them bad, you mix bad blood in with them, and blah blah blah, and maybe this and that. And I love that in Fellowship, it's like, well, how do you make the ring? Well, he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life into it. It's like,
How do
what
you
does
do
that
that?
mean? Yeah, it's like it
How do you
doesn't
put that in a vial?
yeah, and it's like if you're asking that, that's not the question. It's more of this kind of, it was forged in hate and malice, and in like the soft magic of Lord of the Rings, to craft it out of hate, imbues it with something
Mhm.
evil, and so like what does it mean for like the elves are leaving, and there's just something to the presence, and it's changed when they leave, and there's just, I don't know, I love that kind of, not there's not a formula, there's not like a mathematical kind of like this and this plus this, it's just there's just a sense in which like the world is enchanted, the whole
yeah,
world,
There's no midi-chlorians here.
there's no midi
Yeah.
chlorians here,
yeah,
Yeah.
there's no stopping to explaining, there's just a sense of like
Yeah.
it's the way it is, to
yeah,
be in an elven city like Rivendell is to, you enter a kind of peace, and it's not, well, we've got a protection spell that lasts right here, and it's like, no,
If
it's just the presence, there's an enchantment
Mm.
in their like I don't know. So
Yeah.
I love this trilogy's approach to fantasy and magic and all that.
And that's followed up shortly after that scene with another thing like that when Frodo, Sam, who have now met with Merry and Pippin, are walking
Great
down the
scene.
road, and you get yeah, it really is. You get this amazing dolly zoom when you
Oh,
hear the ring wraiths,
the
and just the trees start like morphing, and that's another one of those things of like, okay, is that like actually happening? Like, are they actually seeing that?
Mm-mm.
Or is it
Whenever,
just there's something
yes,
disturbing about? Yeah.
exactly.
You know
Like,
what
is
they
it?
actually are seeing? Bugs. Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
and then it also plays on that line of okay, were the bugs actually just there because they're out in the freaking middle of the woods, or is it because there's this evil ghost that's hovering over them that's causing?
even the
It's
bugs.
That's
Yep.
that. There's if you listen to the commentary, Peter Jackson, he was worried that that effect wouldn't come across, that people would just think, well, I guess they're just now noticing the bugs. But he's like, no, the idea was that like
Yeah.
the evil is like unsettling even the bugs, like it's just
Yeah,
driving out the
so
life
good.
from the
Yeah.
earth.
Yeah,
But it's done in that way where it's like it's so on the line that
Yeah,
you know even though like we obviously know like oh yeah it's because it's evil.
yeah.
um
But even that is still a kind of a it's not like, well, there's an anti blah 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 in the Black Riders that insects react. It's like, no, they're just the idea that life reacts to the presence of pure evil is like,
yeah.
yeah.
yep.
Also, that shot of the tree with them underneath, that shot is iconic, but I love the touch that the horse doesn't appear on the right side of the tree before appearing on the left. That is like, it's one of those like almost horror movie type tricks that's so freaking
Oh yeah.
creepy.
Absolutely. It's the ring wraiths are some of the coolest creatures
Yeah.
in these movies.
The way it's like sniffing above them, I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
freako, dude, get out of here.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that that's a human. That used to be a human,
Yeah.
and it's like a beast now. You
Yep.
know, it's like a ghost beast almost.
It's a ghost beast.
Neither living nor dead. What does that mean? I don't know, but man, it sounds creepy and cool.
Yep. Um, and then we get to the prancing pony, and it's back to the
Underbuckle
shenanigans
Banter.
again. We're throwing back the pints of ale.
It comes
Like
in pints.
it comes in pints,
You got a
and
whole
then
half already?
he's like, "You've already had 3 already."
What's so funny about this is that when I was younger, and I saw a pint of ice cream, I was confused as to why it wasn't bigger. And because I knew pints as these giant
Yeah.
mugs, but they're only giants because the hobbits are so
Yeah.
small. They come in pints. It's just such a funny thing, and it looks so big for them. But
Yeah.
like literally in my real life, I thought they were like pints were big until I
Yeah.
realized,
Yeah,
oh
same.
yeah, only for hobbits.
Yep. Speaking of like, just places that just feel real and lived in, like the print, this is there were no corners cut in extras across this trilogy, and I feel like Prancing Pony is one of like the biggest. Like, you
Yeah.
look around at any random frame and tell me that that's an extra and not a guy who's been there for like who's been drinking there for like 30 years of his life.
Yeah.
Like it's all everybody's so dirty and the clothes. I wish that more movies would like take a page out of this book, and it's like, make your costume, fray the edges, tear them up a little bit, roll around in the dirt, and then start shooting. I hate
Yep.
this like straight out of the packaging costume that so many movies have.
Yeah.
Everything here looks like it's been worn for like 20 years by the same person. Like it's so. And
Even
there's
like
also
no, go ahead, sorry.
well, I was just like one of the last like cool things about just like selling just the environment that they're in. and also like selling the scale is that shot of him like trying to walk up to the front, and then a guy kind of walks by and scoots by him. You never notice that's a guy on stilts. Like
Oh
it's a
wow.
guy on
Yeah.
like it's a massive human rig thing that looks so funny when you see it in full, but it looks 100% convincing in the thing.
Yeah,
And so like there are like a million effects happening that you'd never realize just watching it.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
movie magic all over the place.
And then you get that casual shot of Aragorn just aura farming in the background.
Oh, dude, the
The
coolest
coolest,
person ever.
the coolest person ever, the coolest character reveal ever.
So
You know, there's all the memes about literally me with Ryan Gosling, but I think like this is like if we're being completely honest, Aragorn Strider right here is the real, literally me.
I don't know if I'm even cool enough to pretend to say
I
literally
could
me in the
never.
sense that's
No, it's more of I wish
I
this was literally me.
right.
There you go.
The
Yeah,
close up on the eyes when the flames light it.
Oh,
it's so freaking
yeah.
cool.
And just to go into the dirtiness of the costumes and all that too, like the lived in feel. Even like I love that they don't like they show Frodo's hands a lot in this sequence, and his fingernails and his like cuticles are all dirty and gross.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why that stands out so much to me.
It
It goes
does.
such a long way of being like, this is an actor who's going to go get like cleanly pedicured in a trailer after this. Is like, no, that's Frodo.
Right. It's Frodo, and he's just been on a journey already. It was already quite a journey from the Shire
Yeah.
to here.
here,
And
yeah,
so like yeah, and even in their living in the Shire, his fingernails would be like that. So like they live they he sits in the ground and reads books like
Yeah.
like, and so I just love that touch too. Nothing is
Yeah.
too clean ever.
Mm.
And
There's a lot of even in the extras. There's a lot of dirty teeth.
yep.
Like there's a lot of like
hmm
I don't know. I don't know why, but that's just works
so
so
much
much for
texture.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then right interspersing with these I have it paused right now because like the sickest shot ever, but like it these bar scenes are interspersed with shots of the ring wraiths, and the sickest shot of them riding by with like it's a street light behind a tree, but holy crap, it looked it's because the fog and the use
Yeah.
of light. It is, I don't even care. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's a movie shot, and it
Yeah.
is like I don't care what the light's coming from. It
Yeah.
looks awesome. Like
As
same
as our friend Gabe says, screw natural lighting.
screw
yep.
natural light. And same thing with the shot that they look the iconic shot of the ring wraith on the hill where and he's on the horse
Yep.
with the street light behind him or
Mhm.
whatever. But it's
That was the cover of the book that I had.
me too. I had the same one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's iconic. And you're like, who cares what that light's from? Like I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care. Like it is freaking sick. It's a full moon for all I care. But like
Yeah.
that shot in particular behind the tree and the fog is just it looks so good. I had to
It's
pause
awesome.
it and
Yeah,
mention it.
yeah. The Prancing Pony, all the stuff in Breeze is some of my favorite from a filmmaking perspective, and then just also everything that's going on in between.
Parliament.
Yes, sir. He's incredible, instantly iconic.
Yeah. He makes every line from him for some reason is so quotable to me. Good evening, little masters.
Yeah.
Like it's just I love him.
Not seen him in 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
He's one of them rangers.
so good.
Strider.
Strider. I just want to talk like him from now on.
Always proud to cater to the little folk.
He's the goat. I love whenever, like right after Frodo puts on the ring here, Strider pulls him into the room, and they're having the discussion, and he's like, "Are you afraid?" Frodo's like, "Yeah, of course." And he's like, "You're not afraid enough." And then 2 seconds later, all the other hobbits come charging into the room and like, ah,
with like a candlestick.
Yep, it's so
What a
good.
testament to their character, you know?
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
they are in there, little hobbits, a guy on a sword. That's
Yep. I
They're
love
there
the
to protect
just
their
first
friends.
thing.
next to aura farming of like with the.
I was
Oh,
literally
I
going
know.
to say the first thing they show him do when they get into that room is like, so good.
No,
Everyone else is playing checkers while he's playing chess.
dude, he's just ahead of the game.
Yeah,
It so much so quickly establishes him as like, this is the coolest guy ever.
Yep.
It's not even like trying to not be that, which I like.
Yeah.
And not only does it like establish him as the coolest guy ever, but like he actually is the coolest guy ever. It's not like he's trying to be the coolest guy ever. He just actually is.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's in some ways trying not to be the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, I never wanted that life. Yeah.
Can you believe too that Vigo wasn't the original casting? Yeah. Can you imagine anyone else ever?
No.
Like, isn't that wild?
He is so. Yeah. It's one of those castings where I'm like, I don't want to try to picture another guy in the role.
Yeah. Which, oh man, that brings us to the perfect time. So we've got comments from our Facebook group, Banter Fodder, a film and television discussion group, which you can join in the link tree below. And this was something that we used to do when we did our recorded episodes. We ask for people to leave, some of their favorite moments, some of their favorite characters, locations, whatever it is. Just let us know something that's, stuck out to you while watching this film. So we've got some pretty great comments. So the reason why I brought that up right now is because we had one comment from Gabe, who we mentioned earlier, and he said, have James give his ideal recast for Aragorn in The Hunt for Gollum. And James, there's no escaping this one. You have to pick someone. You have to.
And just for the listener to note, like, James is pretty. I'm trying to say this right.
He hates recasting.
He does not like recasting at all, ever. Essentially,
there are those those moments, and okay, I will say, I never like any recast beyond like, it's like this is him at 20 versus this is him at 60. Obviously, that is different. But recasting the same age range in particular, even the best versions that we get that of. I don't like it. It's a necessary evil at best, like Rachel Doss and the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
You can't not, but if Katie Holmes isn't going to come back, then like you have to. I just don't. It's always going to be a little drawback.
Yeah. With that said,
what's even worse though is we're talking about a movie that should never have even been more than a, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we made a blah blah blah? Nah, that's silly. Move on. This, I don't want this movie being made at all. I have no idea. Stuart Townsend, just for the joke. And if you don't know that, he was originally cast as Aragorn and then was fired 3 weeks before, because Peter Jackson had just a panic attack 3 weeks before shooting when he's like, I've cast him too young. I have cast him too young. Frick, I've cast him too young. And he had to fire the poor guy. Yeah. So, Stuart Townsend for all the laughs.
All right. Well, Jim's final answer right there. You heard it, Gabe.
I think Topher Grace could crush it, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. You could crush anything.
You're trash, Brock.
Oh man. Well, let's read a few more of these comments. So from Joseph Hamrick, Jim's brother,
Hey.
uh, he said that one of his favorite moments is the overhead shot following Aragorn as he runs fighting the orcs near the end of the film. This is right after he has a conversation with Frodo. It's such a fantastic moment, but good lord, that shot! And I was going to bring it up even if we didn't have a comment on it later on. That shot is an all timer. Um, we also have a comment from guest of the pod, friend of the pod, Ryan Wall, who has a show called Super Smash Cast. You should definitely check it out. I'll make sure that it's in the links. And he said that one of his favorite moments is the whole fallout from Gandalf's death with everyone's reactions. Merry holding the responsible, especially distraught Pippin, especially. Um, and oh gosh, that scene hits incredibly hard. Um,
Yeah.
but just seeing like, and knowing that they've been traveling with each other for a long period of time as the Fellowship, and you know, Frodo and Sam already have the history with Gandalf. Legolas, Aragorn already have that
The
history.
confusion on Legolas's face of like this
Yeah.
can't be a thing that happens because
Yeah.
of how long he's been alive at the
Mhm.
same time as Gandalf has been
Yeah.
alive. It's like,
But like even seeing someone like Merry and Pippin who haven't known Gandalf for that long, and also you know Gandalf tried to he taught them a lesson after setting off those fireworks. You know, just seeing them like react in such a distraught way is really tragic.
and a good guy Boromir moment. Even though Aragorn's
Oh,
right
yeah,
that they had to get out of there, I do love that Boromir is like, let these guys mourn,
yeah,
man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great moment where, like, you totally agree. Like, let them mourn, but also, like, yeah, Aragorn has got to be the guy going, guys, this place is going to be crawling with orcs soon. We got to
yeah,
go. Like,
Yeah,
get the. And then when he picks up Sam and goes, on your feet, but the
he gives
way
him
he
the
says it,
yeah
on your feet, and there's a care, there's a love to
yeah.
it, like a compassion, even though like
Mm-hmm.
we have to get up, I'm sorry, kind of a thing.
yeah,
That's a great moment.
Yep. This is just a cast of the most noble people. Like everybody is so virtuous and kind and
Yeah.
noble and sweet.
yep. It's the best. We got another comment from Curry, also friend of the pod. And this is actually the same scene that we're talking about, that Joseph shouted out. Aragorn letting the ring and Frodo go while staring down an entire war party of orcs and also taking them on uh, quite well is a formative manhood moment for me.
Amen.
Um, do you mean taking on the army, or do you mean letting Frodo and the ring go? Which part of the manhood are you talking about?
Yes.
Both.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, that again. We'll talk about that scene later, but it's perfect. It's perfect. And then we got one final comment from Drew, not me, Drew Miller. He said,
My guy.
"Describe your ideal first and second breakfast." So, Michael,
Oh God, I did not prepare for this. Oh gosh, first breakfast and second breakfast. I'm gonna go first breakfast, just kind of warm things up with a hearty bowl of oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
And then after that, for second breakfast, now that I'm warmed up, I'm going nice crispy bacon and eggs and uh let's see, uh biscuits and gravy.
heck yeah.
And I'm gonna be full.
Oh yeah. You're
No,
gonna be
and
like
grits. I
I
like
love
grits.
grits.
you're gonna be like Pippin when he ate 4 loaves of lemon bread.
I laughed so hard at that line when I was watching it. How many did you eat? 4.
4.
That's so good.
Oh man. James, what about you? Let's hear your breakfast.
I'm almost reverse. I think I'd start off with like just the a classic like eggs and bacon and sausage and grits, and then probably some sort of like breakfast strudel and coffee after that, like a breakfast pastry kind of thing after.
Yeah.
You mean a Pop-Tart?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, James. I think you got to start off with something a little bit more savory. So you get your eggs, you get your bacon, you get your sausage, whether it's patty or link, I don't care. You get that, get a little spice in those too. Like get them medium or mild, medium, hot, I don't care. Get some of that. And then you get some biscuits with some butter and jam.
Mm.
Is this all?
That right
Is
there.
this all your first breakfast?
This is the first breakfast. Yes,
Good
sir.
Lord.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And then you get to the second breakfast and you get either some pancakes or waffles. There you go.
Good Lord.
I'm gonna be just like Pippin, but man, that is the combo right there.
Sheesh.
But yeah, speaking of second breakfast, we get that line drop right after they leave Bree and escape the ring wraiths again.
Something that I think is so funny about that scene is Merry and Pippin, especially Pippin, get all the crap for the second breakfast. But if you look at that, Frodo and Sam are down there with the pots and pans setting up.
Oh yeah,
like it's not
True.
just a goofy Pippin thing.
no,
Frodo and Sam are like, yeah, second breakfast time. Like this,
Yeah.
this is a Hobbit.
This is a Hobbit thing. Yeah, such a nice little touch. But yeah, I love all the banter.
You've already had it.
Yeah.
I love the apple thing.
Yep.
Cracks me up.
Yeah, I love all the banter there. You get a better feel of like who Aragorn is there. And then when we get to Weathertop, this is like some all-timer stuff here. Obviously like Frodo putting on the ring again and revealing the ring wraiths like true identities. Really freaking cool visual effect. I love the way that they look. But it also like just amps up the stakes a ton because up until this point, like we keep getting glimpses of them and we see a little bit of aftermath of what they do, but like they're completely helpless here. The hobbits are. Aragorn isn't there yet, and it really feels like one of them's about to die here.
The shot, like the tension whenever Frodo's like, "Put it out, you fools!" and they look down, and you see the down of them like convening,
and then you hear the scream.
That shot, you know what that shot reminds me of? Is there's a shot very similar to that in The Village, where the people with the red
shout
are coming through the other the bad color.
Yeah.
And it's very similar. You see them all just kind of converge at the same time. It reminded me of The Village.
It's so good. And then did the Nazgul scream? Terrifying. Absolutely.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You can edit that out.
All right.
No, leave it in.
Yeah, it's haunting. Every time I hear it, I get chills.
Yeah.
But the action sequence here, whenever Aragorn shows back up and starts going to town on them and absolutely wrecking them, is freaking awesome.
The last one always makes me laugh a lot. Where he throws it in his face, but like it's what he does before. He's like, like this.
Oh yeah.
this funny like, wait, what? And then he throws the fire in his face and just it's so good.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Again, just further proving that Aragorn is really freaking cool. He's the coolest.
Yeah.
I think you guys can trust this guy.
Yeah.
And this is the first like major wound that a primary character takes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And it's significant too because Frodo's the one who gets stabbed. Um, and not just by anything, but a Morgul blade, which you find out is slowly turning him into a ring wraith.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um, so
What a
like,
terrifying prospect.
Oh my
oh, I
gosh.
know. So the stakes are like amplified even more. They're like nowhere near anything to help him. So they're doing whatever they can to stop like the poison from spreading.
And they
Um,
make that wound look gnarly.
oh yeah, it looks
It's a
nasty.
nasty.
And like again, it just like kind of shows the like just the pure evil of Mordor. Like that wound, like there's all this like darkness around it that like
Yeah.
really like okay, like this isn't just, you know, them stabbing him with the sword, but it's just the pure evil of Mordor. Which I think is a really cool like visual touch. But one thing I wanted to mention here that I forgot to mention earlier when we were in the Shire is I love the way that this incorporates and just the entire film tells you like almost the entire plot of The Hobbit. Like you get like
Oh
all
yeah.
of these
The stone
beats of
trolls.
the stone trolls, yep. And leading
Another
up to this
extended
point, you
scene
get
that I
all
love.
these little beats that are like just these hints and nods towards The Hobbit, and it's done in such a natural way um, that makes the world feel large. Like it's still large, but it's like oh, like Bilbo, he's been out here, he's seen this, he's done that,
He wasn't
and
lying.
yeah, he
Like
wasn't
he
lying.
did it.
Like it's
It's
I
funny,
don't know,
they
it's so
told the
cool.
whole plot of The Hobbit in this one movie, yet they still made The Hobbit into 3 movies. It's so weird.
Shut up, Michael.
Anyway.
And 3 extended ones too.
Oy.
Um, oh gosh. All right, we're gonna have to cover the Hobbit movies.
I'm down, honestly. I
Yeah,
love the first one.
but yeah, I love the way that again, like the tension just is constantly building, and then you get these really high heights, and then it calms down a bit, and it keeps going. Um,
He's a very
uh,
important character
yeah,
here.
yeah, Arwen, when she finally shows up here, it's it's freaking fantastic.
What's this? A ranger caught off his guard. Hello. Seriously though, Liv Tyler in this era is one of my biggest Hollywood crushes I've ever had. That
I
thing you
mean,
do in this,
it makes
I
sense casting her as an elf, like
she
completely.
and the way when she when she talks as an elf, I'm like, okay,
Uh, I'll
yes.
do whatever.
Yeah.
What do you need, love? No, it's like seriously, she's so genuinely like I had a huge crush on her. Like I love Liv Tyler, but she is so good in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's
And
fantastic here.
and I love even I saw an interview where it was like I think it was years later, but she could still speak Elvish. And just seeing her go from her regular speaking voice to that, it's like how do you wow. It's just amazing.
The Elvish linguist said she had by far she was his best Elfish speaker ever. It was
Wow.
like
That's
she
awesome.
smoked everybody else in terms of how naturally it came to her.
When she's like commanding the water,
Yeah.
It's so cool.
it is in there's like this reverb around her voice as she's getting more into it.
Yeah.
It's just
So cool.
so freaking cool.
And
I
again,
also love her.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, continue. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say again, like with this sequence, the magic
Yeah.
again, it's like, all right, are there actual like water horses here, or is it just like
I love the image of the water horses too.
It's so
It
cool.
looks so cool.
It's so cool. But yeah, it's like, is it that, or is it actually just, you know, the raging waters like coming through?
It's magic, bro.
It
100% magic.
Oh, it absolutely
thing
is.
is
But it's
magic.
just it's done in such a cool way that like again like just feels like so natural
Yeah.
and realistic to what it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love the way it looks.
Yeah. And I think her intro sequence itself is pretty spectacular. Like
Mm-hmm.
the angelic way she appears to Frodo.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
and then cut to like the actual kind of like forester kind of outfit that she's got. Like there's something
Leia on
about
Endor.
just yeah, Leia wishes. No, I'm kidding. I love Leia. Uh, but yeah, just like that kind of like this angel just kind of entering because that's basically what she is for Frodo at this point, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, literally.
But it's just such a striking, cool entrance to me.
Yeah. And it also like with that, it gives you a glimpse of what the ring wraiths see when they're like looking at someone who is like just pure good like that.
Yeah.
Like think about like what Gandalf looks like to them.
It's like imagine it would probably it's in Two Towers, but that scene whenever he like takes off like the outer cloak and just the white shine like just forces the darkness like literally on its back.
Yeah.
It's
Whew,
so
good.
cool.
It's freaking awesome.
And then also too, just you get a just a hint of a relationship between Aragorn and her, and it's just like it's perfect. They don't say
Just
anything about it. But it is he like touches her hand before they go, and it's
just two of the hottest people ever having chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
it's not even fair.
They're both the coolest people of all time.
Yeah,
Aura farming.
yeah, so good.
And then we make our way to Rivendell, and again, it's like this. It's doing the same thing that you did for the Shire all over again, where it sweeping landscape, the perfect music, but a
I love the
completely
Rivendell theme so much.
Dude,
one of my favorites.
Yep.
oh,
Yeah,
it's so dreamy,
Yeah.
Yep.
dreamlike.
But it's like sweet dreamy. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a kind of confusing dream, but it's like
No. It's
Like,
like
to me
so
at least.
peaceful.
Yeah, it's
And
peaceful, but there's a note in it. It's also like
mysterious.
it is mysterious. It's not foreboding or anything like that, but it's mysterious.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
there's something different here. There's something I don't understand here,
Yep.
but it's definitely magical. It's dreamy. It's
Yeah.
And to me it's all of whatever feeling it is, at least for me, is all kind of underscored by a sense of like, but it's good.
yes.
Like it's a good here. But
Yeah.
like
And I think that that choral or that high like operatic kind of singer doing that
Yeah.
too kind of makes that even more evident. I don't know.
It lacks the intentional hominess of the Hobbit.
Yes.
Or of the Shire, while still, I don't know. To me, it's still kind of just the shot of like Frodo, like buttoning a shirt, walking out. It's still there's still just like there is a welcoming sense to it, even still to me.
Yeah.
And I love all the autumn colors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh.
The Shire has like a very like spring summer kind of feel to it. This has like the autumn look. And the Shire, like both in its music and its look, even though it has a fantastical element to it, it's so much more familiar to us. When you get to Rivendell, it's like to me, this is one of those moments where I'm like, okay, I am fully in another world.
We're not in the Shire anymore.
Yeah.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
No.
While still feeling like it is a place you could go to, you've just never been.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Like-
it looks unbelievably real.
Yeah. Well, the sets, the size of the sets, I even forget until I see the actual like
Yeah.
behind the scenes footage stuff how massive. Like you're just seeing all of these railways and giant outdoor like libraries that they're walking by, and just it's incredible. It feels so real, and like that's a place. That's a real place
Yeah.
that people are walking around at. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Um, but yeah, like this is where like Rivendell is really where the film truly begins in a way, because this is where the fellowship actually begins.
Would you say
Um,
this is where the fun begins?
so this is where the fun begins. Um, or maybe this isn't where the fun begins. Maybe it's the opposite of that. But I think that Rivendell has so many great little character moments introducing each of our characters. Um, and one that really stands out to me, which I, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on this. So fact check me on this. But I think the interaction between Boromir and Aragorn, was that an extended scene, or was it just they added something onto it with the extended cut?
Ooh, that's a good question.
They may have added something on. I'm pretty sure
I
that there
think
was some
that's
of it was in the theatrical for
Okay,
sure. The Gondor has no king, Gondor needs no king, that
that's
thing.
what it
well,
is. Yeah, that.
That's
well
definitely in the theatrical.
Yeah, true.
that's the
Yeah,
Council of Elrond though. When that's said, that's
Oh,
not
you're right.
the
You're right. Oh, wait, is it? Or is it when
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever because Legolas says an heir to the throne of Gondor,
Oh,
and that's
I
what
know what
makes
I'm
him
there's
go.
a okay,
Gondor
I
has no
know.
king.
There's a line I'm thinking of. It has a similar
I know what you're talking
thing.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but
nothing more
it's
than a
what.
broken blade.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah. That's
yep,
it. That's it. That's the line. And that is in the theatrical for sure.
yeah. Okay, but I could be wrong, but I think like that scene is extended
Could
here
be.
in the extended cut. But just the dialogue exchange there between Boromir and Aragorn, I think, is fantastic, and it shows like the complete contrast between them both being like the two like men, like the humans that are in this fellowship, both being from the same place, both of them being from Gondor, um, and both of them being heirs to Gondor. Uh, so I don't know. It's just like there's these little moments like that again like just perfectly set up the character. You immediately understand who Boromir is when he picks up the sword, cuts himself with it, and then he drops it. He's like, just a blade.
Hmm.
Tells me all I need to know about him.
Whoa! I love
Watch
Boromir.
it, mister.
I love Boromir too.
You need to know a lot more about him than that moment of weakness.
He's got many moments of weakness.
Listen, he does, but we are Boromir apologists on this podcast, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of
Yeah,
haters out there. They don't understand.
Yeah, but I do love the tension that scene like creates within them, literally from their first interaction. And this is their dynamic in Aragorn's arc is one of those things that like that doesn't really register for me as a kid. You know, I'm watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and not even just for the action, because I love the characters. I love laughing with Merry and Pippin. You know, I love the story and I felt emotions, but I couldn't just what Aragorn means to Boromir, whose dad is steward right now, and who's, you know, Aragorn's been off in the woods being a ranger. Boromir's fighting like battle after battle, trying to keep orcs away from Gondor. Like understanding what Boromir represents to him and why he is the way. Like there's so much between their dynamic and the journey that they go on that just like it kind of took adulthood to truly start to appreciate.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really well said. Their dynamic is so interesting, and I just also didn't really appreciate not just their dynamic, but until becoming an adult and seeing the nuance here, I didn't fully appreciate Boromir as a character. He was, you know, he's, if you just paint with a broad stroke, you can see he's the one that tried to take the ring from Frodo. He's the one that just wants it for, he wants it for selfishly, wants it for himself. But there's a lot of nuance there, and he just wants to be.
All I ask for is the strength to defend
That's the line
people.
I'm trying to think. That's the line I'm trying to think of. All he needs, he just wants is the strength to defend his people. And they've been defending Middle Earth against Mordor for a long time.
Mordor is on their freaking doorstep.
Literally
He's got to
on their
wake up
doorstep.
and see it every day.
Yeah, every day. And like you said, Aragorn has just been like, he's running away from all that. He's a ranger in the woods. Like, he's part elf or whatever. And he is like, he's just, Boromir is just like, yes, he's a flawed man, and he is susceptible to the ring and its power. But he is a good man who wants to defend his people, and he cares for his father, and he cares for, we learn later, his brother. The flashback with him and Faramir is incredible that we get in the extended edition of the the Two Towers extended? Yeah. That flashback is one of the best, I think. It's one of my favorites. And you really see more, even more depth in Boromir's character. But like, having this, and then what we get at the end when he falls so hard, and then just the most honorable death you can in film. One of the greatest, most honorable deaths in film history. It gets me so much. But the setup of it with the relationship of with Aragorn is why that is so powerful later, because the whole thing is like, yeah, him fighting the orcs and getting like 5 arrows in his chest, and he's still going and all that. That's incredible. And that's like, oh, it's amazing. What gets me the most is when he's talking to Aragorn. And we'll get into that more in detail. But their relationship is one of my favorite things about this movie. And it's one of my favorite things really about the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
And it starts really interesting here.
And yeah.
So I love how it starts.
I agree. And like even the back and forth when we actually like get the council meeting, the secret council that Sam and Merry and Pippin should know about.
I love that line.
Yeah. It's so good. But yeah, just the back and forth between Aragorn and Boromir and the council is just so good. And you get that.
Cannot wield it.
None of us can.
None of us can.
Also, another like a point in the favor of this trilogy over others, which it like some trilogies that lack cohesion because, well, we were going to do this in the first one and then we decided to pivot here, so maybe this looks different here or this feels different there. This trilogy is so freaking cohesive in so many ways, and one of those is both in earlier, whenever Gandalf went to do his research, we straight up see Minas Tirith. Like, we see that castle, and I'll almost always forget that we go there in Fellowship.
Yep.
But then another thing that I notice, and it's like, you don't think to notice it, and then by the time you would think to notice it, it's so long gone. But whenever Boromir says, "By my people are your lands kept safe," you hear the bum 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 ba-na-na. Like, it's the Gondor theme playing under his speech, and we never hear that again until the next film. Like, we just have that note that's playing over him talking about Gondor being the place that keeps Middle Earth safe. And I love that you just hear that note, and then of course we get it swelling in Return of the King. But there's just something about having all the pieces in place like so early on and just watching it all like cohere over a trilogy.
And that's one of the like strengths of them, like the way that they shot these films, making all the sets, all the costumes, having them all ready to go, shoot all three back to back. And
And we just found
also,
out from Ian McKellen literally last week that the Grey Havens was his second scene he shot.
wow.
Yeah.
What? That's
Yeah.
wild. Oh my gosh.
In an interview, he was like, I was having to ask Peter, like, what's my relationship with these guys again? Like, what am I? And I'm like, how did you do that? You made me cry, Ian. That was your second, like, what?
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably would be the hardest thing about being an actor for me. I don't know. I'm sure there's lots of hard things, but the working out of sequence like that would be so,
Yeah.
especially at the beginning when you start at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It really is. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Like, just the filmmaking behind this is incredible. And like, even just today, like I was looking at the budgets for the films, and also like taking inflation into account. It would have cost like today to make all three films together at most around 550 million. So you're not even hitting
That's
200
not
million
crazy.
per film.
That's like, I mean, that's crazy in that it's not a crazy
Yeah,
number for how good they look.
it's unbelievable.
That
So
is
that
crazy.
person puts into perspective that we're doing something wrong today, because
Yeah.
you can make films look this good. You can make films have this scale. You can make films this cohesive.
Meanwhile, Red Notice is like a $200 million budget.
All right, all right. To shy away from for that conversation. So yeah, just like I mentioned with those two scenes with Boromir, what are some of your favorite moments while we're here in Revendell?
Um, I feel like Frodo's first meetings with everybody is fun. Like
Hmm.
when whenever Sam comes in and he's like, "Bless you, you're awake." Just that, and then seeing Merry and Pippin, and then eventually, whenever he sees old white-haired Bilbo just kind of like kicking his feet up on a
Oh
bench,
yeah.
it's such a I don't know, such a sweet moment. And like all of, even though he looks so much older, all like just the excitement that rushes into Bilbo when he sees Frodo and he hugs him.
Yeah,
And he's, we talked about the seeing the stone trolls kind of like proving Bilbo, like Bilbo really did it, he went off and he did these things. The the fan of me now, both like of the Hobbit movies and just the books themselves and Tolkien's work, I love whenever Bilbo is like flipping through the books and he's just like, I meant to go back to Lake Town and I meant to do all of this. And
Hmm.
it's like, oh, this was his adventure. This is, uh, it's so that, and there's a look whenever Frodo is talking about how he always wanted to be like him. And then he just kind of says, my own adventure turned out to be quite different. Bilbo looks at him with like such a look of pity
Hmm.
because it's like Bilbo's ring was that adventure. Frodo is having to like Frodo was roped into this only because Bilbo had the ring
hmm,
and chose to keep it. And so whenever Frodo is just kind of and Frodo's not really thinking that. He's just when he says, my adventure turned out different, and you can feel the heaviness there. There is just a look of like pity that Bilbo has on Frodo, that Frodo has had to like go through this, that just moves me every time.
Yeah. Those are great. Um, I also love the it always makes you chuckle a little bit, but that dreamlike sequence where as Frodo is kind of like coming to, or I guess he's out of
Yeah.
it, and out of nowhere we see Hugo Weaving, and he hasn't been in the movie at all to this point. We're like, huh? I don't know. To me, for some reason,
It
his floating head there, it's funny because we haven't seen him yet. And I like to think of myself as watching this for the first time, and I don't know who that is. I'm like, Who's this guy?
It might be the only like really questionable cinematic choice to me where it feels a smidge. Everything else about this movie, I think this trilogy feels so timeless. Like
Mhm.
it's so we're gonna be watching it for like 50 years from now.
Yeah.
But for like that 10-second snatch of time, it feels like a 2000s music video a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit weird. How do
Still
y'all
goes
feel
hard though.
about Hugo Weaving's casting here?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
I think he's perfect.
Yeah, I do too. I love him. I think I have heard some people not love him as Elrond, and I don't get
Nah,
it.
nah.
I love him. Um, but yeah, there's a certain I like there's a certain seriousness and a like dour vibe he just gives naturally that like I don't know who else could have done it quite like him. And I don't know. I like thinking about, especially Rings of Power kind of has me thinking about this a bit, but like thinking of how like where Elrond came from and where he is at this point,
What he's lived
what
through
he's
and like
lived through. Yeah, like to see this is how he ends up. Yikes. You know, it's interesting to me. And I liked and so for that reason, I actually really liked the casting of Hugo Weaving. So
although I also feel like there is a warmthness even still to him. Like
Yep.
that he
yeah.
can I love the, like even when he is summoned to his secret council and you are not.
Yes.
Like
That's
the fate of the
so
world is
good.
at stake and he's getting a joke in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um
He
and
has.
also okay, so
You
this
can
this
tell
is
he has a. Oh,
oh no, reason.
That face you made is so good.
yeah. um, he has like a fondness to hobbits, and you can see that in the way that he kind of like talks about Bilbo
Mm,
and Frodo. Um, and it goes back. I mean, it goes back to like who Elrond is, who he was. When you think about the Rings of Power, the Silmarillion, and that story of him, you know, being one of the elves to like kind of make peace between the elves and the dwarves. Elrond was like also the battle of the alliance, the last alliance.
Yeah.
mhm,
Him being the guy to be like, hey, I'm working with the humans, the mortals. It's time. Like we need to destroy this ring. Like he's kind of been at the center of all of the races of Middle Earth. And so to me, like that warmthness, the slight warmthness that he still has
mhm.
comes from like his history as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Man, the
And
stuff with
it's
he and
kind of
Durin is some of the best stuff of that show too.
oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's kind of cheating, but a scene that it makes the fellowship even better is, and it's an extended scene from An Unexpected Journey. It's probably my favorite extended scene from An Unexpected Journey. Whenever Bilbo is just chilling at Rivendell, and uh, Elrond asks him some random question, and Bilbo's like, uh, "I like." Elrond makes something that can be perceived as a jab at hobbits, and Bilbo kind of takes it personally, and he's like, "Well, I've been told not to ask for the wisdom of elves because they just say both yes and no," and looks up at him, and Elrond looks at him super sternly, and Bilbo's like, ah, like he just kind of like laughs at it, like he's trying to make it a joke, and Elrond just pats him on the back, and he's like, "Well, you are certainly welcome to stay here if that is your wish," and like has a genuine smile
Oh,
and walks away. And like that scene makes Bilbo choosing to come back here and make this like his stay
mm,
just that much sweeter to me. So
Mm-hmm.
like I think I love those characters who have that kind of stuff, like that tough, stern exterior, but like they have that like that kind of you guys kind of thing underneath them.
Yeah.
And like even when Merry and Pip, like he smiles at Sam, and then Merry and Pippin come through, and he looks pissed when they run through. But even shortly after that, he looks at the nine, and he's like, "So be it." Not like he just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like him, and yeah, the severity I think is warranted because I don't know if they actually call it this in the movie, but Rivendell is called like the last homely house. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it is the last place abroad beyond your board, like beyond other people's borders, that is going to welcome you. You know, like he's fought hard to like keep this place the way it is. So like just the need whenever he's telling Gandalf like the ring cannot stay here.
Yeah.
You know, like there's too much on the line for Rivendell to be able to continue to operate to like have the ring of all things stay there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Plus, it's Hugo Weaving. He's just awesome.
He could just say anything.
He has so
Yeah.
much because Elrond needs authority. I feel like,
Mhm.
and Hugo Weaving can just like command a scene with his voice.
I think that you guys kind of said my favorite stuff that we hadn't already talked about. I just wanted to bring in Hugo Weaving and see what y'all thought. But
No scary Bilbo.
no, that's not my favorite. No. You know what's really funny? I had a friend I was talking to the other day. He loves Lord of the Rings. Like he's obsessed with it. He reads the Silmarillion and all that stuff. And we were talking about Rings of Power. He was like, I like it. He's like, but there's a few things that happen that are like, there's like these jump scares that I'm like, it's not in the cinematic language of Lord of the Rings, really. It feels like kind of out of place or whatever. And my first thought was, I was like, what are you talking about?
The cave troll in Moria as well, like hiding behind the.
Oh yeah.
Also, she would become a queen. Like, bro, that's scarier than Gandalf doing his thing there. So
True.
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some jump scares in Lord of the Rings. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you
Yeah,
get to
there's
the
several
Martian
actually.
Two Towers.
Yeah. Or the it's a straight up jump scare whenever Merry and Pippin climb up Treebeard and they're like he's gone and it's like 2 seconds of quiet and then it's like the jerk like immediately
yeah.
like yeah. Peter Jackson is a horror director before he did this.
Yeah,
like
you can really see it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But speaking of that spooky Bilbo, that is genuinely terrifying. Like
Yeah.
My old, it's the way it started. My old ring.
Yeah.
Like, though it starts at just such a, oh, I would very much like to hold it again, and then you just that hold that it has on him, it's still there, and
Yep.
it's like oh my gosh, the transition, again, acting incredible. The transition from that to his remorse right after that.
I'm sorry for everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And like, sorry for you having to carry this burden or whatever the line is. Like that transition was so good. The performance. Oh
Yeah.
There is a tenderness to these characters, like in not to be like not in a sappy touchy feely way, but they are touchy like also the amount of like bro hugs and like hugging and putting your hand on somebody's shoulder, like there is so much of that in such meaningful ways. Like whenever Bilbo turns his back to Frodo and sits down and cries, and there's something about whenever Frodo comes and he puts his hand on his shoulder and Bilbo sees it and he just immediately grabs it, and I'm like, oh, it's so sweet.
yeah. Oh, and there's one thing I'm glad you said that. It's slightly different, but it did remind me of the moment where in the council where they're all like bickering, and that shot of the ring and like the flames engulfing all of them as they're
So cool.
bickering, and it's Frodo. It's Frodo seeing what's going to happen to all of them basically if he doesn't take it, and he comes up and says, "I'll take it," and the look on Gandalf's face when he says, "I will take it," it's like the last thing the last thing that he wanted to happen is happening.
Yeah.
He did not want that for Frodo, but he knows that that's what has to happen.
Yeah.
And then he's the first one to say, I will help you carry this burden, or whatever the line is. That whole thing right there is incredible.
It's perfect.
So well done.
I love these people. I love these people.
I do too.
We even love Boromir.
Well, what are we waiting for?
I love Boromir so much.
I love Boromir.
You carry the fate of all, little ones.
Man,
I really do. He has done I do think that obviously he's flawed. I do think he's a very misunderstood character in a lot of ways from just general audiences. But like
he's not Judas, and people try to cast him as a Judas character.
Exactly. He's not. There's such a depth there. There's such a and by the way, this isn't something you have to really dig for. It's there. It's like Peter Jackson, they wrote they obviously Tolkien wrote it, but they adapted his stuff perfectly. It's not like you have to like, I don't know, come up with stuff to make yourself feel good about feeling this way about him. It's like, no, like it's right there. And the extended edition only increases that by 1,000%. So
yeah. I
cannot wait till next time when we talk about him at the end of the movie. But his journey through this movie is one of my favorite characters of all time, actually. So I'm very pumped to talk more about Boromir.
Heck yeah. Well, yeah, that leads us to kind of the end of the road here for us. We're going to be swapping out discs here.
When are we going?
That leaves you out, Mike.
But yeah, we're splitting this episode into 2 parts. So you'll be getting this one first, and then that'll be followed up with the second half of the Fellowship of the Ring. That being said, I think we can all definitely say that we had a great time talking about this. Obviously, if it's not obvious enough, this is one of our favorite films of all time. So we're really excited to continue the discussion on our next episode. So stay tuned for that. Be sure to follow us on your favorite platforms. All of that stuff is in the link tree below, including our Facebook group, which we mentioned earlier. If you have any comments that you want to be read on our next episode, definitely leave them below. Let us know some of your favorite moments from the Fellowship of the Ring and the trilogy in general. And we will read that on the next episode. But until then, make sure you go watch some movies on the big screen, support your local theaters, buy those concessions, and we will see y'all next time.